little health and a little wealth and a lot of love.
So let's change gears a bit. So let's get into some financials. I have two more questions for you before we jump into the financials and
Sure.
nitty-gritty. The number two question to have is this is a very invasive conversation to have on camera. So number one is, I'm gonna say this a bunch. I really do appreciate this because I think a lot of people can relate to you and your story and where you are financially. And so I just want to ask you, like, what inspired you to be on the show, and what inspired you to say, yeah, I agree to this?
Most off is the component of help, right? Like, hey, Zach, you're an expert in this and can help. And I'm no stranger to asking for help, or at least being able to, take help.
Yeah.
And, I've tried and failed some things. I've also made, some mistakes, but yeah, but, in so much as, like, well, shoot, what now? Like, why not go the best way? So, really just get help.
Love it. All right. Now, third question I'm asking every guest this is, what is one thing from a financial perspective that you have done you absolutely regretted, whether it was a car, a house, a financial product, an investment, an ETF, an option, limitless, not like a washing machine. I'm talking about like I bought 40 grand on a car and blah, blah, blah. So what was one financial thing that
I think that's probably the reason why we're sitting here today. I don't see anything that I can justify all of the things that I've done, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely not a good thing, right? Many of the purchases that I've made, like let's say my house, for example, was on a whim. Without looking at the financial statements, if you have one in mind, you're like, hey, this one, like I probably will admit, yeah, I regret that.
All right, let's revisit that question at the end.
Let's revisit the question, like because I don't want to say anything, that I don't want to seem like I'm not critical of myself. I can't think of one that I like, shoot, I spent $75,000 on something that I really shouldn't have. Well,
and we're going to talk about like statements and all that in a second.
Cool, yeah.
And then how I kind of pushed you like to get them things in, and you took it seriously. I saw what you put together. It's not easy. It's not easy. Okay, so I like to anchor on this because as we talk about this, and guys, if you are looking at the YouTube channel, my bad. I do have the laptop here. I got statements. I got all kind of stuff, and we're gonna show some B-roll on that. And the video editor is gonna do the damn thing.
Oh, so they're gonna put my numbers up there?
Yeah,
yeah.
All right. And not like you tell me what you're comfortable with, but we'll talk about it.
No.
Okay. What specific financial goals do you have in your life?
I want to be able to not worry about money. I mean, I kind of don't worry about money as is, but I do find that I don't know where my money's going.
Got it.
Which is, a problem, right? It's like, dang, like, because I think back, I was making less money and kind of had more money to spend. And, your life does change. You do more things, do this, but like, I don't see my life being super excessive, and I don't have money left over, and I make good enough money where I should have money left over.
Exactly. Let's associate a specific. I'm a smart person. I don't know if you heard that terminology. We have SMART goals. We have a very specific goal in mind. What does that look like for you? Throw me a number out.
No debt.
No debt. Okay. I can work with that. And I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to anchor you to that goal. All right. So.
Oh, wait. Well, can I add to that as well?
Yeah.
Multiple streams of income and no debt.
Okay. I can help. I'm all about some multiple streams.
Yeah.
I have about 4, 5, 6 maybe. I'm planning on retiring from my job by this time this episode airs.
Nice.
It's big old middle finger. I don't do the middle finger because my.
Oh, look, I'm planning.
Asked me not to do cussing and all that, but
I'm planning on winning the lottery. It's my turn.
Well, there you go.
It's my turn. It's my turn.
All right, so Chase, I'm looking at your financial statements. I'm pulling my computer in front of me. Sorry if it blocks the view, but at the end of the day, like this is what we're trying to do here. All right, so when I have glasses, I do math. So math is going to be math in today. Now, what sets me aside from other people that do this kind of stuff is I'm not just talking about the hard numbers. I'm going to get into the psychology of this stuff, right? Say, why are you in this situation? Or you're not in a bad situation, but why did you make the decision that you made? So I'm going to...
Good luck.
Right. Mind and Money Matters is a segment that we do here on Susan Scrubs, and that's going to be the whole theme of every time I do this review. So, all right, I have it in front of me. So, Chase, You have a monthly income about $7,600 of your take-home pay. So you have a very healthy, give or take average.
Yeah.
You have a very healthy income. Your housing is $1,300, $1,247 to be exact. That's your house payment. What's your interest rate on your house?
I think it's 3%.
That's awesome. Okay. All right. Let's hold on that. Your housing utility is about $276. So by the way, my projected of housing.
And forgive me, give or take in regards to the interest rates, because
You're not.
it might be. No, I'm not variable.
Okay.
I mean, I did refinance because I did refinance, and I think I refinanced for a different interest rate, but it was better because I was able to get out of paying some sort of
PMI.
Yeah, it was something like that. And
The thing is, like, and I love that you say that because you know what PMI is. So check this out. So,
like mortgage insurance.
yes, it is.
Yeah,
Check this out. So the banks lend you money.
Yeah.
That's how they make money. That's how banks make money. Newsflash: I work for a bank. I know this. But for insurance, but insurance purposes is they'll actually make the person who gets a loan buy insurance just in case you default. But guess what? When you default, sometimes the bank can short your house and do all kinds of things. So not only, check this out, y'all. I never got this. I work in the banking industry. By the time this episode airs, like, I could put my job at risk for saying this because I'm just being honest. So here I am, a bank. I'm giving you money, lending you out. You're paying 3, 4, 5, 7%, what it is now here in April. Not only am I making money off of you, and this is something Dave Ramsey talks about a lot, and I agree with him on this, is I'm making money off of you, but you're going to pay for your risk through your private mortgage insurance. So if you default, bam, that's fine. We got insurance on you anyway.
Well, you know where that came from, right?
Up until you have equity in your house. So when you have equity in your house, it's a certain percentage of equity. I don't have the number at the top.
20%. Yeah, I remember because that's when I did, and it was a good thing. But I think that was, I don't know when, but what that was it was entered into legislation in order to do that, in order to circumvent banks being able to not go bankrupt, and then they ended up going bankrupt anyway.
Right, back in 2008. Which you're right about that. I don't want to say there's not. It's something with a purpose. It's just something that
it was shady
to me. I feel like when you I don't pay PMI. I've done 6 real estate transactions. I own about 3 properties and counting. Higher end properties. That's something I talk about on the podcast. But one thing I will say is I never pay PMI. I think PMI is taking money and throwing it out the window. It doesn't go anywhere. They go to work. So that's great. I actually glad.
Better than rent.
With a little help and a little wealth and a lot of love. That's the life that we live. Suits and scrubs.